Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Friday! It is Aloha Friday! No work till Monday! Whew, I know there's a whole song about that. So, anyways, it's Aloha Friday, and I know I said I was going to change it up a little bit on Fridays, so I am doing such. And today I'm going to inject a little Aloha into the Aloha Perspective. So I have a very wonderful topic picked out. It was kind of funny because I feel like I must have thought about this before, because when I opened the bookmark, it was right to where I wanted it to be. So that being said, I'm going to start with the morning mantra, or the morning, what is it? The Affirmators morning mantra. So I love that deck. I got it for my birthday, and yeah, I just snarky McSnarky. I have a couple other decks, and that's kind of what started my love for the Affirmators. But let's see. Make like a plant and grow toward the light. Flower and repeat. Make like a plant and grow toward the light. Flower and repeat. So, you know, when they say flower and repeat, we could really put this into healing, into healing. So, I know. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just kind of like, you know, my brain is going faster than my mouth is going faster than my brain. And so I'm going to take a second, all right? I'm really happy I can wear this shirt today. I'm taking advantage of the fall morning before it becomes summer this afternoon. So, and definitely summerish next week, or summerish this afternoon, and definitely summer next week. I tell you, California, Southern California is crazy place sometimes when it comes to weather. Anyways, all right, here we go. So the morning affirmators. I don't know why I feel kind of nervous today. Maybe something good is going to happen, something big, right? I'm not sure, but I know it's like this excited kind of thing going on in here. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so again, make like a plant and grow toward the light. Flower and repeat. Now when it says flower and repeat, you're like, well, wait, I'm growing towards the light. Well, again, healing, we'll put this in the terms of healing, right? Healing can be like an onion. It's going to take layers and layers and layers, and then one day you're going to be like, oh boy, I feel all shiny and sparkly, and whoa, this is not how I felt the last time I dealt with this particular subject, whatever the subject might be. All right, so that's why you have to flower and repeat, because every time you heal something, you're growing. And then you might come back to it and go, hey, until the point where it might feel like a trigger, and it might trigger you sometimes, but it won't be as bad as before you healed it. You know, I mean, sometimes it might get pretty grim, but you'll be able to pull yourself back together. You'll be able to remind yourself, hey, look how far you've come when it comes to this particular subject. And then you start building your confidence in that, right? More and more. So I love this card. I really love this card. So I got this book for my birthday, not this year, but last year, from my friends Charlie and Matt. Hawaiian Traditions and Practices for a Meaningful Life. It's called Island Wisdom, as you can see. I know if you can read backwards. By Kainoa Danes and Annie Daly. Now, I love this book. They know I was born in Hawaii, but I'm actually a bloodline Hawaiian also. However, I grew up in San Diego, but I grew up in the Hawaiian culture in San Diego, around the Huio, Hawaii of San Diego. So, but I'll be honest with you, here's where the perspective comes in. It was always sometimes it would be hard to be Hawaiian for me, because it seemed to set me apart, and not always in a good way. When I got older, people were like, whoa, really? And it's like, yeah, I spend my summers in Hawaii with my family, blah, 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 my grandparents. You know, I always tell people in past shows, you know, if you, for the amount of money you pay for a babysitter during the year, you could send me to Hawaii and have someone, you know, learn the culture, learn the family, and all those other things. So, in that though, sometimes it was hard, because my cousins would make fun of me because I wasn't Hawaiian enough. And when I come back, I would be called something like pineapple head or coconut head, because on top of that, I tan really easily. So I'd come back like about 5 shades darker. You know, maybe not that many, but a lot darker than than when I left. And you know, the school, you know, school kids are, they can be relentless. So believe it or not, that's why I did not eat pineapples and coconuts for a long time. It was kind of like, no, I turned my nose up to it, because I just threw myself into my Caucasian side, my Irish side, and just forgot about all my ethnicity, like my Filipino and my Hawaiian. But Hawaiian was always really ingrained in me. It was really always kind of in there. So that's one of the reasons why on the Aloha Perspective now on Friday, I'm going to be doing Oracle Guidance, which is just basically like, you know, throwing out there the deities for you to shop at. You know, shop at deities or us, or obviously Aloha Oracle Guidance. I don't think doing guidance every week is, I don't know, beneficial to some degree. Maybe not healthy, because I think some people just zero in too much on certain things, and then when it doesn't happen, it's kind of like, oh my God, and then it can stress you out, and then it can really ruin your vibe. So I figure, you know, I'm going to toss it up, and you know, 1 week do excuse me, 1 week do the oracle, do the guidance, and then like I said, I'm going to put the Aloha in the Aloha Perspective. So yeah, let's get to it. The reason I picked this subject, whoops, sorry about that. Sorry, guys. The reason sorry, I had a meditation going, and I guess my notebook hit it. The reason I picked this particular subject is because it's very, very, it's a very, very big part of my life. So, you know, I don't have siblings. I adopt basically my siblings. And speaking of adopting siblings, older sibling just came on. I see Troy was on. If you're still on, hello. If you're not, I'm sorry I missed you. But the reason I wanted to pick this subject was because it's really about the spirit of Aloha. It really is. And you know how, I don't know, I can't explain it. But I'm gonna read this. Okay, I'm gonna read the 2 pages, and then we'll talk about it a little, because there is, like I said, there is a very important reason why I chose this to be my very first putting the Aloha in the Aloha Perspective topic. And it is the art of Hanai, which is Hanai. So Hanai. I've actually taught this to a few other people, but because you know, you might refer to like Hanai family or this, that, or the other. So the art of Hanai. Hanai, to bring someone into your family as if they were your own. In Hawaii, you may hear someone call someone else their Hanai brother or their Hanai mother, or say that they Hanai'd someone important or very close to them. This is a big part of the concept of Ohana. To Hanai someone is to bring them into your family like your own. The closest translation in English is to adopt someone, but it's much bigger and deeper than that. And unless it's an actual legal adoption, there aren't any official papers involved. For example, Kainoa, one of the authors, his family extended the spirit of Hanai to Annie, the other author, and now she's part of his family. The meaning behind Hanai. Hanai is made up of 2 words, hana, which is to do or perform, and ai, which is to feed or to eat. Don't eat your family. And so when you put those words together, Hanai means that you're not only feeding someone food to strengthen them physically, you're also feeding them knowledge and love to strengthen them spiritually. It's a serious business when you Hanai somebody, because you need to make sure that someone is fed in all the ways we need to be fed, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. Aloha Aina Steward, Hiilani Shibata tells us, to Hanai someone can also mean choosing to teach them or feed them with knowledge. Hanai is taken from a longer phrase, Keiki Iave Hanai, which means a child taken in to be fed or raised. So mentoring someone else also counts. Hiilani confirms. I am so sorry. I read this, but I'm tripping over it now. So in the end, that's what makes the term Hanai so beautiful. It's an acknowledgement that your spiritual strength matters just as much as your physical strength. The fact that providing someone with food and shelter is not enough, the idea that you also need to provide them with soul food and soul shelter, conveys just how much emphasis Hawaiians place on holistic well-being. So, Hanai in the present. To apply this concept to your own life, you could offer to mentor someone in your community. You can also think about ways to weave the wisdom of Hanai into the bonds you already have. Are you doing enough to feed your loved ones on a spiritual level? Are they doing enough in return? Once you start to look at your relationship through a Hanai lens, you may realize that you have a lot more emotional wisdom to give and a lot more to research for on the other side. So I apologize for kind of falling all over that one. But, and you know, it's so funny because it wasn't even the names that tripped me up. That's not a problem for me. But one of the reasons I wanted Hanai to be my first one is because that's how I look at my brother from another mother, Troy, and an older sibling. Older sibling is like my Hanai sister, and she's been Hanai'd into my family. Baby sibling is actually my cousin, so no need to Hanai her. She's already a part of it. But I grew up with a lot of Hanai family, and I'm not going to name who they are because I've grown up with them, they are like my blood, even though they are not. But to give an example, baby siblings, Boo, he has definitely been Hanai'd into our family, and older sibling has definitely, as I said, been Hanai'd into my family, but she is my soul sister. And even though we're not blood, which is kind of what they're talking about here, right? It's about calling people family that aren't blood related. So, and I don't mean like through marriage or whatever. I mean like, you know, you meet your best friend and they become like a sibling to you, or they become like an aunt or an uncle to your children, and, you know, so on and so forth, right? You may become one to theirs. Older sibling, I'm going to tell this because it's hilarious, has a bit of a problem when she was a child with Hanai people. She found out that someone she called auntie and uncle were not really auntie and uncle, so she felt lied to at 8 years old and refused to call anybody auntie or uncle again. I told her, I said, you would not have survived the Hawaiian upbringing. It didn't matter. When I found out that family that I always thought were family were not, it kind of threw me, you know, because all of a sudden you feel like a mild outsider until you realize these people don't love you any less. They love you just as much. And that is basically the spirit of Hanai. Ohana doesn't mean that you just have to be blood related. Ohana are the people you surround yourself with. You know, we talked about this on, I think it was Tuesday's subject, where I talked about, you know, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is your tribe? Are the people that you're with lifting you up, or are they tearing you down? You know, and yeah, you're going to have some family that might not be on the up and up, but every family has that. You know, I think I'm nervous because this is a whole new subject for me. This is a whole new egg for me. So I think I'm just kind of tripping over it because it's like, oh, I hope I don't mess this up. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. So I'm a hot mess today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It is Friday. My hair is freaking out on me. Well, what can you do, right? But laugh. What can you do but laugh? I mean, it's kind of funny on its own measure, but all the things. So anyways, getting back to the subject, I'm sure that even if you do not live in the Hawaiian culture, you probably have your own Hanai family, and you can impress them with your new terminology of Hanai. Again, it's Hanai, so Hanai. And you can impress them with that, right? You can impress them with, hey, you're like my Hanai family. And you don't have to sit there and go, oh, this is my Hanai brother, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times you'll just say, you know, if you're, say I bring older sibling to a luau, okay, and, you know, you meet people and be like, oh yeah, this is my sis Laura. And they'll be like, your sister Hanai. My Hanai says, oh, okay. And they'll just automatically understand. Well, most of them will understand. Not sure if everybody will, but it really is a gift, really. I mean, for as much as I Hanai'd older sibling into my family, older sibling Hanai'd me into hers. So, oh yeah, she said she found out when she had to do a family tree for school. It don't matter, girl. It don't matter. Just do a second one, Hanai family. But yeah, she was 8, okay? Ornery from birth. But that's why I love her, because, you know, she keeps me on the up and up. But that's what siblings do, right? And in fact, it's funny because I don't think people realize that when I call her sibling, that's just my nickname for her. You know, it's not Laura, it's sibling. You know, but when I refer to her, it's like older sibling, because, you know, there's also baby sibling, which is Marie, and I just call her baby sibling, or I just call her Marie. But you know, like I said, I've known her since she was like yay high. So yeah, it's a magical term. I really can say that. You know, I have had the honor of being welcomed into other people's families. My family, when they first moved to San Diego, had the joy of being welcomed into another family. My mom and another person who invited us into her big fold actually worked. Actually, my aunt and uncle, well, my Hanai aunt and uncle worked at the same university my parents worked at. But my mom met Auntie Linda, and, you know, they both found out they were from Hawaii, and, you know, so on and so forth, and then poof, it all happened. All the magic, all the Hanai. And like I said, I mean, I was like one when they met, so I didn't know, maybe one or two, but they are, to me, family. I know I name names, but if you don't know my family, it won't matter. So but yeah, I don't want to like point out who the Hanais are. I did in a way, and if you watch this later and you understand what I'm saying, trust me, I see you as nothing but real family to me. And I think that's what's important, right? I have lived with this saying since high school, that family is in the heart, not the blood. And I say that because, you know, you could say, no, family's only in the blood. No, it's not. What about the people who adopt children? Right? Are you saying that they're not part of your family because they're adopted? No. Technically, it's a legal adoption. It's a legal Hanai, right? Because you got the legal papers and everything, just like it said in the book. But this is kind of the unofficial type of adoption. You know, you find people you jive with, you find people that really become your other family. And, you know, I mean, you hear people talk about it all the time. This is my other family. And that's basically what a Hanai is. It's people that you trust as much as you trust your own family. And people that trust you as much as they trust their own people. So when I talk about older sibling being Hanai, and I talk about bro from another mo being Hanai, to me they're just really like my family. But the term to explain it to other people in my culture would be that. So now, mind you, I have a lot of cultures, but I am a Hapa kid as you can get. What did I tell older sibling yesterday? I said I was trying to think of something hilarious to call myself. So I came up with like Capino Hawaiian, right? Which is like Caucasian, Filipino, Hawaiian. But the majority of my Caucasianness is actually I have a teensy skosh of African American too. Because of my great grandfather. Great grandfather. Sorry. But yeah, most of my Caucasian is actually a lot of Irish, so I really, you know, yeah, that's right, that's where the Guinness comes from. But that's not actually why I started drinking it. I was just in an Irish pub in California. But anyways, I am rambling. But no, I really need to get to know my own culture again. Like I said, when growing up, I was a little jaded because of all the bullying I got, regardless of whether it was meant to be funny or not. I did have a actual family member, who bullied me all the time because I wasn't Hawaiian enough. And I think when you go through that, you just kind of, just kind of sours you on things. But as I get older, and, knowing my own upbringing and the fact that I was raised in the Hawaiian culture around other Hawaiian culture people, it's something that I really want to get back into, and it's really something I want to lean into, which is why this is the first time we're going to do the putting the aloha back in the aloha perspective. So I think it's important for us to know that. Now you can go out there and, like I said, if you have an adopted person in your family, and I don't mean legally adopted. If they're legally adopted, they're straight up legally your family. But I mean, like, if you have someone like older sibling or a brother from another mother, go out and impress your people and say, yeah, that's my Hanai. you know, and just that, oh, you're what? Oh yeah, it's a Hawaiian term. It's a Hawaiian term for adopting people into your family. But like I said, it goes two ways, right? Because older sibling adopted me into her family. I mean, they just took me and put me right in the middle of their pack. And, you know, and it's, her family's dwindling, but yeah, it's an honor to be a part of that family. And I hope she feels the same. And like I said, with baby siblings, basically her husband at this point, with her boo, he has definitely been Hanai'd into our family, and in a very short amount of time, we're a very open group of people. We just love everybody. So, you know, hey, welcome. So, you know, even when I brought my friend for Thanksgiving one year, because she had nowhere to go, she's worked the last couple, but it's like, hey, you want to come with us? You know, I asked my auntie, she said it's fine. Well, it's like they knew her her whole life. So there you go. You have your word for the day, your Hawaiian Sesame Street word for the day, brought to you by the number 27, since it is the 27th of November. So Monday I'm going to be back. God, it's the last day of September, right? It's the last day of September, and next week Southern California is going to hit the 90s again. So like I said, I'm enjoying the fall weather while I can. And then, you know, before it becomes mild summer this afternoon, and then full on summer this weekend into next week. So, I know, thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for bearing with me on this one. I know that was a bit of a skip, but you know, I'm going to read this to you one last time, and hopefully this time I get it right. Okay, so maybe hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. So, sorry with the so's and the likes. Again, I don't know what's going on with me. There is something happening, and I don't know what it is, but my body is very excitable right now, and I can just tell because my heart is just like, and no, I don't have caffeine in the morning. I usually save that for when I go out. So at home, I'm fully decaffed. But thank goodness, right? Can you imagine me on caffeine right now? Good Lord. That would just be I don't even know. It would just not be good. But I don't know what is happening, but it feels like something big is happening. Something good big. So now there's your Aloha oracle for the teeny bit of injection of the oracle. But yeah, it's making it, I know, it's like, you know, like when you get excited about something, you're like, you just got to keep taking deep breaths. Because, you know, it's just, you're anxious. Not anxiety anxious, but just kind of like anxious. That's what it feels like. I'm just anxious. So, but not in a bad way. So again, let's see. The art of Hanai. Hanai, to bring someone into your family as if they were your own. In Hawaii, you may hear someone call someone else their Hanai brother or their Hanai mother, or say that they Hanai'd someone important or very close to them. This is a big part of the concept of Ohana. To Hanai someone is to bring them into your family like your own. The closest translation in English is to adopt someone, but it's much bigger and deeper than that. And unless it's an actual legal adoption, there aren't any official papers involved. For example, Kainoa's family extended the spirit of Hanai to Annie, and now she's part of their family. And remember, Kainoa Danes and Annie Daly are the two that wrote the book. So, the meaning behind Hanai. Hanai is made up of two words, hana, which is to do or perform, and ai, which is to feed or to eat. And so when you put those words together, Hanai means that you're not only feeding someone food to strengthen them physically, you're also feeding them knowledge and love to strengthen them spiritually. It's serious business when you Hanai somebody, because you need to make sure that someone is fed in all the ways they need to be fed, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. Aloha Aina steward Hi'ilani Shibata tells us. To Hanai someone can also mean choosing to teach them or feed them with knowledge. Hanai is taken from a longer phrase, Keiki Iave Hanai, which means a child taken in to be fed or raised. So mentoring someone also counts, Hi'ilani confirms. There you go. Mentoring someone also counts. In the end, that's what makes the term Hanai so beautiful. It's an acknowledgement that your spiritual strength matters just as much as your physical strength. The fact that providing someone with food and shelter is not enough, the idea that you also need to provide them with soul food and soul shelter, conveys just how much emphasis Hawaiians place on holistic well-being. That's also why I do the Ho'oponopono. So, and I am certified in that, and that is also a Hawaii thing. But you know what? Maybe I'll talk about that the next time we talk about the Aloha Perspective. Okay, no, don't worry. I'm not going to push my certification on you. What I mean is we're going to talk about that because that's a really good practice to have, and I'll explain where it came from. I'll explain how it became a thing, and why it's really beneficial to families, period, you know, and just, you know, tense situations. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. I hope that the first outing of putting the Aloha back in the Aloha Perspective worked out okay. Again, I'm sorry I kind of tripped over that. Like I said, I have this anxious feeling and I have no idea what it's about, but I'm really excited to find out what it is, because it's like, whoo, you know, it's like butterflies almost. But when I get anxious, I tend to talk fast, and like I said, my mouth tends to move faster than my brain can, and my brain is just trying to keep up. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch. I also upload to YouTube and TikTok, also under the Aloha Perspective. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll find me there as well. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Monday. Have a great day and have a wonderful weekend.